Today's tale sees us playing BattleTech once again, and we're up against the Cheesemonger again. I promised not to do any jumpy mechs, jumping away from him this time, since the last game I played probably wasn't all that fun for him. So we've gone for a slightly more brawly fit here. Hopefully I concentrated enough to get this done, unlike my last game where I did not pay enough attention. So what we have here is we've got 2 Centurions, a Fire Starter, and a Kintaro. The main idea here is, this is a terrible map for it, but the main idea is to just kind of run on up and get things done. So we're going to get the Fire Starter around here. We'll probably get some, maybe we'll get some sensor contacts over here. He's not going to do any sensor locking, he's just sort of bait to a degree. We'll get the Kintaro back this way. We'll get the Centurion. This is not a great way. Oh, this is even worse because you have to run through this whole forest. We'll just take here. Maybe we'll get a little bit of buffer with Paradise being so far forward. And see how we go. So the idea here is maybe we'll get some LRM Tem spam in. Probably not, because we only have 1 to lock with, Mockingbird, who has Bulwark as well, and 1 to fire LRMs. We've got 10 here, 5 here, so it's not like it's the spammiest of fit. I think he knows I want to brawl, so he might have gone for a long-range fit. We will see, unless he's bringing what he had last time. A Griffin, 1S. Alright. So that's a large laser there. What did he have last time? He had, I think he had a Centurion, a Vindicator, an Orion, and a Panther. This mech doesn't heat up so much, so we have to be careful against that. He's still moving most of his mechs. We'll see what he has. Maybe he has a heavy, maybe it's a bunch of little mediums. I tend to like the medium spam a little bit more. Find it's a little bit easier on the budget. He's got a Kintaro. Alright, what do we got here? 2 lights and 2 mediums. I can't really afford to push in. This is his medium here, unless he's got arc light on someone. So we got to be a little careful here, because we could just get locked up and shot at. So we need a bit of cover here for you, my friend. Bit of cover, buddy. We don't want to get in there, because that would be really unhealthy for your life. Is this a rock face right here? Thing is, these rock faces really don't give you much cover. At all. We could maybe sprint. I think what we'll do is we'll go for a jump, and we'll probably just brace, right? Brace for impact. I guess we still have him there, so I guess this is what we can do this way. We might get locked up. We might take some direct fire here. I could jump all the way back. I think we might lose the locks though. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're going to play safe. I don't want the fire starter getting mangled. I can't afford for that to happen. We still have maintained locks anyway, by the looks of it. Alright, so he wants to reserve in. Ooh, actually that was maybe a mistake. He just wants to do everything at once. Do I push? I don't think I can really push into this all that well. What's holding this lock? You are. Can we maybe back up just a tad? I don't particularly want to get blasted here by a whole lot of long range if I don't know what's going on, right? So we can back up with you. We'll probably brace here. We'll keep Mockingbird towards the front. Keep the sensor lock going. He might want me to come for this crossing. If I do have to come for this crossing, we might have to push this way. Because I don't know. If I was wanting someone to brawl, I wouldn't pick this map. Unless I wanted to just really win. At which point, yeah, I'd pick this map and then just sit on the other side. which is a super large possibility to do. Because all you do, right, is you park all your mechs here. Some poor sucker has to run in and just get hosed down. This is all direct fire into here. It's not a friendly map at all. Not a friendly map at all. We might push this way. I mean, we'll get shot twice, I guess. Oh, the Kintaro's coming across. Okay, I'm happy to fight here then. So he's got 1 to sensor lock, right? So Mockingbird needs to be at the front anyway. So she could probably move up here. I still don't know what else he has, but I think we can risk this in lieu of whatever else is in the back. I'm really glad I have a fire starter for that Kintaro. Makes me super happy, unless suddenly he pops out 2 of his own fire starters, which could happen, and then I would be really sad. Because my Kintaro, he wants to just fire things, right? He does not want to get hammered down here. Alright, so if he's going to push this river, I'm willing to meet him over here. If I can. Griffin's coming in. I don't think he has vision from wherever that is on the ground, but it looks like he landed in the marsh here. So he's got a bit of mud to deal with. We'll probably keep our fire starter. Centurion. So okay, so he's got arc light on someone. Alright. I have no idea who he has arc light on. Maybe the Kintaro, so that you can fire it first. Let's see. Cool running mech. Slightly hottish mech. Very hot mech, right? What do we do here? I think we reserve, and we'll see if he wants to move his lights first. I gotta be careful that this thing doesn't want to death from above. This is a decent Paradise carrier, because you still have the lasers. So the other version only has a PPC, right? Which kind of stuffs you up for firing. We probably want to see if we can drop some LRMs onto that Kintaro at all. So I think we just shift like this. We sensor lock back on the Kintaro, see if he wants to move it. I would probably just sprint it. Or you could just move it up here and brace. We'll drop whatever missiles we can. We'll move probably our own Kintaro over here somewhere. Centurion has an AC-10. Alright, so he's coming around the other side. I'm pretty sure you can't fire from there. Okay, that's alright. We do not want our own mech taking shots here. We'll move Ozone probably into the start of this forest. We have a decent chance to... If he comes a little bit further forward, then we can do some work. If this has got arc light, I might be a little stuffed on the Centurion. But we'll move here for starters. So you know what? It's only an LRM-5. I could... No. I was going to say I could sprint up. But that leaves me in an even worse position because I can't brace. So I think we just take the shot from here. He's going to have a laugh at my measly LRM-5s. Maybe we'll score a hit. I doubt it. I mean, he's got full sprint going. Oh, 3 hits on an LRM-5. Ozone, what drugs are you taking, sir? Because they are jolly good ones, my friend. You have locked and loaded the missiles there. Alright, that's not too bad. So if arc light's on this, we will get a little rummaged here. What do we got? We have a Panther. Okay. So it'll probably be some LRMs with this and some LRMs with that. So you've got 5 and 10. So we're basically firing about the same amount of LRMs in. I would really like to push out of these trees with buckshot, but I think we'll just move a little bit further forward. And we'll consider moving on that Kintaro next turn. The Kintaro is the main target here. He is the big bad boy of death. if we can sort of rummage him a little. It's kind of a wash on damage, right? Evasion cuts down mine. Brace cuts down his, unless he's got some breaching shots here, at which point it gets a little ugly for us. This could have breaching shots, I suppose. There might be some direct fire. No, he's coming into the water. I don't particularly want to give him the water.
What's the plan?
So Paradise, how far can you jump? Alright, so if he comes forward, so I need to move about another 2 more pips forward, right? And not get shot. So we'll probably move to over here and get ready to jump if we can. So we'll jump. Actually, you're really hot. You need to just walk, my friend. We're gonna have to walk you into this forest and then brace you, because you cannot be a hot mech.
Yes, Commander.
That is not allowed, because you're gonna need all that heat in a second. You're gonna need all of it. Pushing is a real dangerous prospect here. I mean, I could have pulled back and fired into some of this. I guess luckily he kind of had an idea of what I had, so you could push in. I feel like this side's easier to push. To a degree. Alright. That's not too bad. Alright, so he's got vision. Oh, that's right, because he's sensor locked. Alright, we're going to reserve up. There's nothing we can do for that anyway. We'll see maybe what his mech is in a sec. I hope it's not the Kentaro. If it's the Kentaro, we're probably in a little bit of trouble. Because you sense lock with this. I suppose we've got enough to hold off. This guy is probably a little far forward. Probably needed to be a step back. To not be getting so abused here. Alright, he's gonna jump with that sensor lock probably. Yep. So please tell me you're gonna do your next mech. I would love to know which one has the master tactician here. I'm gonna say it's probably the Centurion, but I would probably put it on the Kentaro, right? Alright, here we go. So, what do? Do we lock his Kentaro and fire? Or not? Is the question. Can you jump fairly much the entire way? I could probably move Mockingbird here. She's the least likely to do anything. So Mockingbird, maybe take a step back, I guess, into... I don't want to get knocked down without trees. I feel like that might be a little shady. So we'll probably take a step back and brace. That way, at least he's a little bit closer to coming to us. So let's just back up a little. And brace. We'll probably take... What are we going to take here? We're going to take LRM 10, LRM 5, LRM 5. Which would be a sensible move, since I can't do anything this turn. If that's all he wants to do, I'll probably push these mechs forward, though. And we will get ready to stomp down on this Kentaro. Everything's here, so it will be a bit of a mess in this fight. But if I can get that Kentaro on the ground, we can probably start dealing some decent damage to it. Unfortunately, if it's the one with Master Tactician, it's going to get up well before we can finish him off. If he's entrenched in here, it's going to be even worse for us, because we'll not be doing a lot of damage. Alright, he's coming in. I am down for this, sir. I am absolutely down. So he's got 3 bits of stability on this mech. We're going to tank everything with our face here. And this is when we go in, right? So, Paradise. Let's just make sure that everyone can get on this plan. You can get on this plan. And you can get on this plan. Alright. In you go, Paradise. Which side's the best arm here? I think it's this side, right? I think that has the SRM on it. It does. So we'll come in from this side. We'll probably flamethrow him just to keep his heat down. as much as possible. Hopefully the death from above knocks him enough that he loses his evasion. And in we go. Come on, baby. Alright, there goes the evasion. And we still have all of our evasion. He's a little hot in this mech now, so he can't fire everything, but he can still do a fair bit of work. I would probably run forward, punch this. I don't know what you do now. You probably punch this, maybe hope that you get the evasion off it. Fire in from here. If you fire onto this, you're going to have a hard time hitting it. You're better off punching. But we will definitely finish this man off as hard as we can. I would have probably death from above on this, so I could counter death from above. If you've got death from above, you come in, smash this guy down, finish him off with all this. Because that is the only problem of having a weak fire starter, right? Is it can just get smushed here. It is fairly much a one fire rocket thing. I mean, Paradise is probably pretty much dead here if things don't go well. So next up, we'll move the Kintaro up and fire, and then we'll move the Centurion up and fire. Knock him. Actually, we could move the Centurion first, because if we can knock him with the Centurion, yeah, he's gonna... don't do that. You don't do this. Although he did hit with something, right? Or is that just my legs? It's just my legs. So we'll try for the Centurion first, because we might be able to knock him with that, and then Ozone can fairly much just ram in all of his rounds. If not, I guess we get the knockdown next turn anyway. This is why I like the AC version more, because you have a chance to knock him down. What is he on? He's on pretty close. We can just ram in all of our heat. We might ignore that guy a bit more, and we'll see how we go. So Centurion forward, not the back here, the front. You'll fire in your LRMs and your AC. You need to hit with this AC. To the leg, I guess that'll do. Couple of... there we go. So there's the knockdown that we needed. It's kind of close with the Centurion. I mean, it's a little bit hard. Because you really need that AC to hit. If it does not hit, then it's all over, right? It is absolutely all over. I would probably try to death from above with this. If this hits, we're in trouble, but... I mean... This is a death from above mech, right? It doesn't stand much of a chance to hit. What can we do here? To here probably is the best. We might ignore most of the side. And we'll try and core out this guy with everything we've got. Fire starter is a nice old mech. 38 to hit. We'll fire in everything, because then we can fire in... Actually, you know what? We'll ease up with the LRMs. But everything else should do a nice bit of chunky damage here. And then we will get the fire starter out. This thing's pretty much dead, right? Yeah, he's pretty much dead. So something else here has Master Tactician. He has shredded off a bit of evasion here, so you could probably sensor lock and fire. I'd say this has got the Master Tactician here. But for all of this, for a fire starter, a $3.6 million mech, you are trading a $6 million mech, right? That is on the tables of not a good trade at all. Centurion's not so hot, which is probably a bonus for him. We will try and gut that mech there with probably Mockingbird. We've got to get our little fire starter out of here. If we can. He's coming in for his own death from above. Oof. Actually, that killed us. Wow. Alright. That's one way to do it. That is one way to do it. Nice though. I mean, it's two 45s onto the back. So he had a decent chance. I would have probably just ignored this and maybe fired onto this. I mean, the evasion does nothing for your death from above, as far as I know. This guy did not have Paradise in here, so Paradise is probably over here. You can tell because this guy is still pretty much standing here. He's trying to get behind us. But we'll finish off this Kintaro. He's going to fire in his large lasers and so on, but side shots, yeah. Had it been a PPC, it might have done a little bit more work. So we'll try and gut this guy with 2 of these guys. We'll probably use Mockingbird first. Because then we can probably kill this thing with... what do we got here? With the Kintaro. Actually, you know what? What kind of punch chance do you have? 80. Alright, we gotta finish this Kintaro first. The Kintaro cannot get up. That's the main takeaway here. If it dies on one of these guys' turns, so be it. But if it doesn't, then we are in a lot of hurt here. So we'll go 63, we'll fire in everything. Heat up, I mean, he's only got 30 left, so if we score any decent hits here, then we are good to go. Probably move in for a punch on this. We might be able to push this down. At which point we can then use the Kintaro to fire in and kill this thing. So he's lost a lot of his damage, right? I mean, he's still got a Centurion A. He's still got a Griffin that can kind of jump around, but we need to kill this Panther next to remove any sort of shenanigans there. I think he's trying for some side shots. Ooh. Alright, at least we moved. So he's going for the one with the least evasion that he can probably see. Which is not bad. I mean, Mockingbird's not a bad choice. We would definitely run around and punch you. We're going to give up our back armor here, but it'll have to do. Maybe we can knock that evasion off you. If we score a hit anywhere. Come on, baby. There we go. So there's no more evasion on this guy. We could probably just unleash on him. We might shift our Kintaro a bit, though. Just so that we're not getting so split up here. We'll put him on the ground. Put a lot of damage into him. We might ease up with... we'll see how much heat we've got. So we don't... do I want to overheat? I mean, we could rip a huge chunk out of him. I think we do want to overheat here. We'll just take the internal damage. We'll cool down next turn if we can. Or we could just absolutely hammer the guy. I mean, you gotta remember, Kintaro does a truck ton of damage, right? It is... It's one of the brawliest mechs here at the moment. I can't wait for maybe some more variants of other mechs to come around. Because at the moment, you can see how deadly this is. Alright, Master Tactician is right there. So we know who's Master Tactician now. He's probably gonna fire a buckshot. Straight into the back. I'll take that. I mean, we've got some armor, right? We're not totally exposed. We'll probably move her though. Like so. Ooh, can we get better than that? We can. Probably go like this. We have taken a bit of a hammering, but we should be okay. So we'll probably move here. We'll try and kill this thing off as best we can. We've got a bit of heat to go. We'll go for that Senator, so there's no way we're not going on that with everything. Hopefully we'll gut that thing out. So we're fairly good here. Centurion's probably going to run. The Griffin's behind us. Our opponent might leave in a second. Please, Mr. Cheesemonger, don't leave me. I say it might be a GG though. Because you're now 2 mechs down with a Centurion and a Griffin versus 2 Centurions and a Kintaro. The Kintaro is running pretty hot though, so he does have that. That did a fair chunk of damage. Actually, you know what? He's got a fairly okay chance to do well here. We'll probably go for the Centurion. Because we can see that. We've got plenty of armor here. So I think we'll just take the hits to the armor. For Kintaro is probably going to have to move forward and brace. He can't do too much more. But but I'll happily fire into this. We'll probably ease up with the LRMs just so we've got a few turns of firing. Apparently we just want to get really good with center torso hits here. So we'll move the Kintaro probably over here and reface him. And then just brace up. Because we need plenty of heat back, right? Where is this damn sneaky guy? Alright, he's there. We could move... So we can move here, I think. Ugh. These moves. Not there. Can we just move here, maybe? Can we move like this? I guess that's as good as it gets. I mean, it won't really matter if he wants to shoot us in the back. So I suppose we just go like this. Save up some heat. As best we can. I could have probably sprinted towards him, actually. He'll probably jump. See, if he jumps here, he can't really shoot us in the back. So we're okay there, at least. He's only got probably, I don't know. So this has probably got a decent tactics. So he's probably got vision here still. So I have a feeling buckshot might get abused a bit. We don't have any more death from above, so we don't really have a way to smash this guy up quite as heavily. I'd say he's going to assume that I'm going to go this way, so he's probably going to just try and shoot me in the back with everything. You could shoot Mockingbird, I guess. Because we are exposed there. Nope, you're going to shoot me on the side. That's fine. I'll take that damage. Luckily, there's no real damage to the movement here.
I'm here.
So we'll move to the side of this mech if we can. I might have wanted to go with the Kintaro, but we'll see what he does first.
Location confirmed.
And we'll hose this guy down just a little. Once again, we're just going to fire just a few weapons. The LRMs can just relax. Because if we fire those in, then we're just going to cost too much heat. We want to be able to fire every turn here. I'd say he'll probably fire on buckshot. Maybe I should have sprinted buckshot forward. And tanked a little. Oh dear. Buckshot, buddy, it wouldn't have mattered then if buckshot had sprinted here. At least we can now sprint this turn. So this will be focused fire probably into buckshot. I'd say he does not like buckshot at all. He's twisting out. Is he going for the water? Alright, he's just trying to keep us away from him as much as possible. Ooh, that arm's not looking so good. Off it goes. That was our AC arm, unfortunately. I think buckshot here is just going to turn it into a regular old puncher. So we'll probably sprint forward here and set up next turn to just punch this guy. We didn't want that AC anyway, you know. We're just leaving him behind. Bit of salvage to pick up. Bit of salvage for him to pick up. So we'll move you across here. We'll keep shooting him in the side with the SRMs. We're not going to fire in the lasers. We just want to do movement damage here. Or stability damage. We can probably actually ease up with some of these. We're getting close to this water. So I'd be happy to get in that water. Oof. Ouch. Alright. Right arm, right torso gone. So he's cruising for a bruising as well. He's got no AC here. We probably need the Kintaro to be doing some punching damage instead of having to fire every turn, but we'll take what we can get here. I mean, we shredded an arm, right, with some really good luck. And by luck, I didn't even mean to shoot that side of the mech. Alright, he is sprinting on in. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go for... I wanted to go for a punch. Apparently, I may not. Ain't that awkward. We'll keep this rock face behind us, I guess, so he can't shoot us completely in the side. We might shift this way, because if he shifts the other side, I'd say, you know what, we'll give him this. If he wants to fire at me from this side, he can. We'll fire in the LRMs. There's nothing to lose anymore. And apparently, man, we are just going to mangle up the side of that mech. That is, I don't even know what RNG is doing today. It was just like, yo, the torso, the torso. I see the torso. Alright, buddy. So now we've given him the choice. He can either shoot us in this side, or he can continue around this way. And most people will see that this is a death trap, right? And they're going to be like, no way, Jose, am I running in on that. Alright. This is actually a mirror image fight here. They're both missing bits and pieces here. So, we'll move in. We'll continue to fire on that flank. He's got a bit of evasion. I'd rather get the can't do it. Alright, I'd rather Mockingbird fire to shred off a little bit of that evasion. And then at least Ozone has the best chance to hit here. So here we go. We won't fire in the LRMs. I'm pretty tempted to not fire my AC as well. But I'd say if we hit with anything here, we have a good chance of killing him. Apparently we wanted to shoot that leg though. We dislike his leg. It's too shiny for us. Too shiny by far. So, Ozone. I've got two choices with Ozone. I could actually just run him into the water here. Or we can fire. I think we're better off firing. He's pretty much dead. We can still fire 2 SRMs and be fairly happy. I mean, this is, crazily enough, this is 120 damage. I mean, obviously that's a full salvo, which you generally will not be hitting. But that's what you can get on a max salvo, right? Alright, another baby down. Another baby down. Alright. Does he... I don't know. I don't know if I would take Arclight with Master Tactician on the Griffin. I would definitely think about Paradise on this. I mean... You can't see anything. You can't death from above anymore, I guess. I mean, yeah, he can shoot us in the back. I would have rather have death from above at least once with this. Instead. We might die here. We're going to take a bit to the back. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So I think what we do here... Oh, we can't even turn and punch. Alright, we just turn and shoot then, I guess. Fire and everything. I mean, there's no cost to us anymore. I mean, there is a cost, right? But there's no way this mech is gonna survive out against all this. We'll fire in with poor old Mockingbird as well. She can take some trees. We're gonna... Oop, oh man, hopefully that click was correct. There was a little bit of a delay there. Hopefully it was not gonna cost us. We might ease up with the AC. We just want to strip some evasion here. And maybe save some heat. We've got the refire, so we'll gain +2. We'll gain some dice back on that one. We don't want to get too close. So normally I'd make this mistake and get a little bit closer, right? The thing is this guy could jump onto the back of one of our mechs, which would hurt us quite heavily. I wonder if we could do a little bit of heat saving here. Not really, right? I'd rather... I think we've got to save some heat. We could have fired in. I think we won't. He'll probably finish off this Centurion here. At least we've got the heat on the Kintaro. I mean, if this was single player, I might have risked the heat load. Because obviously I don't want to be losing the Centurion. I would probably have run the Centurion back. But multiplayer, I mean, look at this. Look, this is absolute mayhem here. I think these fire starters are pretty crazy. The amount of distraction they provide versus their cost is insane. I mean, onto a Kintaro, gutted out a Kintaro, and then we were just left with basically this guy who didn't death from above in. Someone probably should have had Death from Above. I think Death from Above is pretty much guaranteed. Not Death from Above. Angel of Death or whatever is pretty much required now. Because
Yes, Commander.
without it, it is too much of a... It's too much of a risk that something will Death from Above in, and you can't counter Death from Above.
Copy that.
Mockingbird's gonna chew him up. I think... Oh, that looked like a miss for a second there. Looked like a miss. So we're good for that. I probably moved too close. Ozone. Do you want to just probably fire in everything? You might focus up here. And we can fire in a few more of your weapons. We'll overheat for this. We'll cook. I mean, that's the real power of a Kintaro right there, right? I mean, the amount of damage that you get off that thing is crazy.
Right here.
You know what, Buckshot, you can just fire from here too. LRM unit might even knock this thing, which would be insane. There we go. So, even off, what did we hit here? An AC, a man in the tree. I mean, he gets his turn. He's going to get up before us. But he is going to have a hard time firing. He's cooking super hot. I would probably, out of desperation, just Death from Above. I've talked about Death from Above so much. I would just do it straight onto this. Go for it, buddy. I mean, everything's pretty much wedged in here now. He's he's done. He's going in. Alright, finally it died. Finally it died. That was probably the best he could do there. We're going to have to move in and punch because we are way too hot. I think he might leave in a sec. We'll knock him down. And then I guess we go in with Mockingbird. Come on, Mockingbird. Do it, buddy. Let's get in on top of him. He'll get up.
Location confirmed.
He is pretty hammered here. We'll fire in everything. I could have maybe fired in the LRM, but I guess not. And there we go. There we go. Alright, good game there.
Successful.
Good game, Cheesemonger. I feel like the Kintaro, I've probably said this so many times in a lot of my videos, but the Kintaro is pretty much overpowered at the moment. I think each salvo of SRMs does about 30 stability damage. I'm not even sure what you need to knock someone. I'm guessing 100, since you can kind of nearly knock someone with one Kintaro, which is, it's god-awful, right? He had a real hard time killing this poor old Centurion. RNG just kicked his butt. He was just like, nope. I suppose this was pretty good for him. He got, basically what he got was both hits hit the center torso, so he gutted the Firestarter out straight away. Otherwise, we might have been able to get our Firestarter out of there. I don't think so, though. I think we were getting knocked, and then we were probably going to get gutted next turn. Or knocked and then fired upon by the Griffin. I don't know about having Arclight in the Griffin. I'm not sold on that. I mean, what are you trying to do with that? You're just trying to have a turn before everyone else, but I don't know if that's really required. I mean, I'd rather, if I was going to have anyone as Arclight, I'd probably rather a Kintaro. Just so that I could fire my SRMs. I could move at the end and then fire first next turn, right? With all the lights, which makes sense to a degree. Witness on the Panther, yeah, that's fine. Blockade, that's fine as well. Just not sold on this. I'd probably put Arclight over here, Paradise here, so that I could Death Room above in, and then first turn shoot with this, right? Seems pretty pretty good. And then you can fire some AC in, get some more knockdown. The Panther can fire in as well once you've got vision. It all kind of works out. The fire starter is pretty god awful though. I mean, just jumping in, so much confusion, so much hate, and it just freaks people out, right? Suddenly there's flamethrowers all over your mechs are heating up, they've got hardly any stability, this thing's like got a billion blimmin' evasion. You have to, this is why I think you have to death from above back. You have to death from above this to either knock it down or knock enough of its evasion off that it, basically you have to knock enough stability off that this thing loses its evasion, and then you can just crush it in one turn, right? So that you're at least trading his fire starter for something. But yeah, not bad. We're only coming in at 19 mil, but I like it. And with that, we'll take a break. Tune in next time. More Adventures of BattleTech. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit that subscribe button or leave me a comment on anything you want to see in the future.